Yesterday, we wrote a couple of programs, and while writing programs, our focus was to understand the basic design of any program written in C language. So, how variables should be declared, how input output statements can be written, how does the printf function work, how does the scanf function work. The scanf function we send an address of a variable, right? As far as printf function is concerned, there are two ways printf function can be used. One, printf function is used only for giving message to the user. In a programming terminology, we call it as a giving prompt to the user. Okay? So enter number or enter something. Okay, it is giving prompt to the user to enter some input, enter some data. Another use of printf function is to print the output. Okay, usually when you print the output, you access the data, the information, the process data from those variables in which you have stored that. So you access that and send it to the output device, that is the monitor or the console. Right? We have also seen how arithmetic instructions work. So basically, in case of arithmetic instructions, there are operators and operands. So far, we have seen only six operators, right? Addition, multiplication, subtraction, division. Modulus still we have not seen. We will see how does the modulus operator work, and we have also seen that various operators: unary, binary, and ternary. I have talked about this, right? Unary operator needs one operand, binary needs two operands, and ternary needs two operands. There are various categories of operators, like arithmetic operators, we are going to see in the first chapter. Then there are logical operators, there are relational operators, right? There are assignments operators, there are bitwise operators. So, lot of categories are there. In all, 6 to 7 categories are there. Somewhere 50 plus operators are there in C language. Hmm. These are arithmetic operators. So these are the rules. So there should be variable on the left hand side always. On the right hand side, there can be an expression, there can be a constant, there can be a variable. So first operand integer, second operand integer, result is going to be integer. On this philosophy, on these rules, yesterday we have written a couple of programs, right? Basically, these input output statements, when you write printf, when you write scanf, these these functions have been defined in the header file stdout.h and stdlib.h, right? That is the reason we include these files. The fact is that even if you do not include these files, as far as the .c program is concerned, the C language program is concerned, there is a misconception among programmers is that if you do not include these files, program will not run. The fact is that program will run, there is no problem, because Denis Ritchie, as per the intention, basic intention of the Denis Ritchie is concerned, then you do not need that. But that was long back, somewhere around in 90s. But nowadays, they have made it standard that include files on the basis of functions you are going to call. So usually printf is the function to print something on the monitor, scanf is a function to take input from the keyboard. So these are input output. So these functions have been defined in the stdio, which stands for standard input output header file. Its extension is .h because it is a header file. It is called header file only because it is included at the top of the program, right? Or top of the file, you can say. So that's why we call it as a header file. Numerous header files are there in C language, in C++ language. in Java there is not such concept as header file, but there is a kind of a some parallel system is there, like importing files, right? One and all, the concept is same, huh? Implementation is sometimes different, but as far as our C language is concerned, header files are included, right? Now, we will write a few programs today. Before we start, tomorrow we are going to start a new chapter. Program, find area and circumference circle. And so, what is the first of all input? What should be input? Radius, length, and breadth. This will be input. What will be output? Area of a rectangle, rectangle, circumference of a circle. Right? So these four outputs are expected. On the basis of that, why actually I wrote this? On the basis of that, we will declare variables, we'll write arithmetic expressions, everything we will do accordingly. Right? Now, we will take two or three programs so that first chapter is finalized. Okay, without, I mean, no doubts should be there, no fear should be there in your mind. Okay, because this we are creating a sound foundation for learning whole C language. So the first step will be the type declaration. So we will declare, uh, these many variables are required. So I will declare one variable for radius, right? Another variable for length and breadth. So these are variables for the input, right? And we want to print this information. Okay, so obviously there would be four variables. Okay, so length and breadth, if it is integer of a rectangle, then their area and perimeter are going to be integer, right? Uh, Definitely, because it is rectangle. Hmm? I will declare int. Uh, Variable name should be meaningful. So I will write rec underscore underscore is allowed, rec area and rec query, right? And as far as area of a circle and circumference of a circle is concerned, these are going to be a floating point value. These are going to be real numbers. Why? Because in the formula there is some float value is there. So you can declare variable as float circle area and circle circle. Right? So these variables we have declared. Hmm. Note that not all variables have been declared on a single line. Okay, some logical division is done. Okay, these variables are for input. These variables are for rectangle information. These variables are for circle information. Okay. So if you want to modify this program in the future for more shapes, you can declare and you can add variables accordingly, right? So next stage will be to input from the keyboard. I'll write printf enter radius of a circle. See the message how I have written. This E is capital, this C is capital. Okay, so it should look neat, and there should be slash t, right? NF percent D and radius, right? Then printf enter length of a rectangle slash t scanf scene d and uh, length, right? Printf enter width of a rectangle scanf scene d and depth, right? So I'm making a division of that as well. Okay. So this will be input and output statement for circle. One blank line is left. Then these will be input and output statements for taking input for the rectangle. Right. Again, one blank line I'm going to leave over there. And now I will write formulas. What you can say arithmetic statements. Okay. So I will write there should be a chronology, some kind of sequence must be there. So first I will calculate circle area is equal to the area of a circle is pi r square, right? 14 into radius into radius, right? And circum is equal to 2 into 14 into radius, right? Then I'll write rec area is equal to length into breadth and rec peri is equal to 2 into there should be bracket length plus breadth and there would be then output statement. So printf area of a circle percent f slash n, there should be slash n, no slash t. So what you can say circle area. Make sure that all these come separately, right? Circumference of a circle percent f slash n, then what circum printf area of rectangle percent there should be d, right? And rec area printf percent d slash n, right? So see how the program looks neat and clean. Okay, whoever read this, he should be able to understand that. Okay. Now let's try to build the program and let's see are there any errors or warnings. Okay. So there are no errors or warning so far. You'll get variety kind of error and warning. Suppose I forgot to put the T over there, you will get error immediately, right? So error and warning should be explored. They should be studied properly. uh, if you fail to find the solution for the error when you are going to write programs, then just message me or send the screenshot, right, of that error so that I can resolve that. I can fix it, right? Or try to fix them, try to fix errors as well as warnings on your own. If you fail, then send me across so that I can fix them. I can help you, right? So I'll build again, hmm, and I will run it. Okay. So enter radius of a circle. So enter suppose phi, length of a rectangle. Suppose it is 6, and breadth of a rectangle. Suppose it is 4, right? So you are getting output as area of a circle. It is giving up to 6 digits. Okay, and circumference also up to 6 digits. So you can make it bit mm, neat. Okay, unnecessarily there is no point in printing the area of a circle up to 6 decimal places, which is default, right? So you can give 0.2, and here also you can give 0.2. So if I build this program again, run this, so now it looks bit good, right? Still, you can make it more readable by use of a slash t or uh, something kind of width specifier. This is called a width specifier. 10, 10. These are width specifiers. You can give here like this. 10d or integer also you can give them. Okay. So it leaves 10 decimal or 10 spaces and print that, right? Maybe 6, 5, 4. Got that? So you'll have to arrange that accordingly. Hmm? So suppose I write here 20, build that again, 6, 5, 7, 3, right? So accordingly you can use it. Okay. The circumference of a circle, suppose you put 13, hmm? Then 6, 5, 4. It looks nice now, okay, comparative to the earlier code. You can find out how many places are there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can add 7 to that. Huh? Suppose you add 7, you write 17. Okay. 5, 6, 2. Okay. So I mean you can format that output accordingly, right? You can, you have to play along with that. Hmm? So this is how actually it works. Hmm? Uh, Suppose we use escape sequences, right? These are very important. Suppose I print this, I run this code. Hmm? You'll get hello world. Hmm? No big deal in this. You'll get hello world. But how will you print this in a double quote? I want hello world to be printed inside double quotes. So double quote should also be there on the output window. It is no. This is, there are no rules in it, right? How to do that? So if you want to print that hello world inside double quote, probably you will do what? You'll put the double quote here and double quote here. Will it work? It won't. Okay, it will give an error because it doesn't understand. Compiler fails to understand what you are trying to what you are trying to do. Only because syntax of string is you have to put it in double quote. So compiler feels that this string is over, okay, So what is to be done along with printf statement? Okay, so there is a problem for that. Okay, now the question is, what we want that hello world to be printed, huh, inside a double quote, huh? So you can use the escape sequence, because I explained you the meaning of escape sequence when I talked about slash n. What did I tell you? Slash n is the escape sequence, which is a request, which is a command to the compiler that escape from the normal meaning of following character. Escape from the normal meaning. What is the normal meaning of n? Normal meaning of n is print the n. That is the normal meaning, right? Escape from that. Okay. So escaping from the normal meaning of following character. So slash n, it is telling go to the new line. Take cursor to the next line, right? That is the escape. So the same philosophy you can use. Double quote is the operator used for printing some string. That is predefined meaning of double quote, right? Because this is string. Whatever you write inside a pair of double quote, that is a string. Whatever you write inside a pair of single quote, that is a character, right? That are the basic primitive and non-primitive data types of C language. Now, if I want to print that string inside a pair of double quotes, then I cannot put the double quotes which I actually showed you, right? So use the escape sequence. So I want double quote, right? So put the slash and put the double quote, right? Here again, put the slash, put the double quote. That's it. Now let's try to run this code. So you will get hello world inside a pair of double quote, right? How do you get that? Same philosophy. Slash double quote. Okay. So as soon as the compiler comes across slash, it remembers the command. Escape from the normal meaning of following character. What is the following character? Double quote. What is the normal meaning of that? String. So don't consider this following as a string. That's it. So it will print double quote as a double quote. Normal meaning was string, not double quote. Okay. Here normal meaning of n was n, but slash n tells go to the next line. Here normal meaning of w, normal meaning for the C language. W double quote means string. Okay, escape from that. So once you tell escape from the normal meaning, it will print the double quote as it is. That's it. Okay, same here. So it will print double quote as it, right? Okay. Now same you can use everywhere, right? Suppose I want uh, I want output like to be this. Output means output on the output window. I want like this. Hello, I want to be like this, right? Hello, WO backslash RLD. I want output to be like this. Okay, let's see what happens. It will be hello world and hello world, right? I want output to be in this fashion. So straight away I will go here and put that slash here, right? What just uh, observe what happens. It is no error, no warning. What happens? Something different. Hello world and LD something. Okay. What is this? You have to take pen and paper and find out. This is not a garbage. This is not a garbage. But why it is printed, you have to find it out. Okay, because you have to study C language like in this way. It is it should not be learnt like what others in your class learn, right? So study that. Okay, if you fail to understand tomorrow, you ask me. Now I want output to be in this manner, right? So what I will do, I will use the escape sequence. That's it, right? So slash slash. That's it. So when it comes across slash, this slash, first slash, it is telling the compiler escape from the normal meaning of following character. What is the following character? Slash. Okay, escape from that. Escape. The normal meaning of slash is itself is escape sequence. No escape from that. So it will print slash as it is. So if you run this code, right, you'll get that hello wo slash r l d. Got that? So these are intricacies of that escape sequences. Hmm? Right. I will write one more program, models operator implementation. Right? If I write, uh, suppose int x, if I write x is equal to 7, if I write printf, percent d slash n, if I write x divided by 2, right? If I run this code, it will print 3. Okay. Why 3? It will print 3. Why? Because this is integer, this is integer. So integer divided by integer, result will be integer, right? So 2 3s are 6. Okay. 7 is not divisible by 2. So 2 3s are 6. So it will be output as 3. Okay. Not 3 point something. Hmm? Now suppose I write percent d slash n. I write x mod 2, right? What does it print? It prints 1 because modulus operator gives you a remainder. Hmm? So 2 3s are 6, 7 minus 6 remainder is 1. Many times you need remainder, many times you need to divide that and quotient. So you will have to design your program on the basis of requirement of the problem. Requirement of the problem. Hmm? Till that moment, I will share some material along with you which is useful for you. So this is a C operator precedence table. Hmm? So stdlib.h, stdlib.h contains some functions. Okay, these functions, if you are calling, then we include it. Okay, now by default all many compilers add this. If you want to see this file, I can show you. This is the stdlib. This is the stdlib.h. This is the compiler's line file, right? So you can see the comments. Okay, this is a header file. Okay, library file. one should not make changes in this file, right? So stdlib.h, this file has no copyright assigned, is placed in the public domain. This file is a part of MingW runtime package. Okay, it is a part of MingW compiler. No warranty is given. Refer to the file disclaimer within the package. So that is not normal terms and conditions, right? So what does it contain? Definition of common types, variables, and functions, right? So this I will explain you almost at the end of the this thing. What does it mean, right? These are some macros, right? And some a lot of macros are there. Exit success is there, exit failure is there. I will explain this. Okay, we are going to use these macros in the future. Um some a lot of macros are basically, because macros is the no chapter. Macros preprocessor directory is the chapter which is mostly ignored by uh, language teachers and language trainers. They do not teach, or at the most they give half an hour for that. Okay, but more time should be given, right? And lot of variable declarations and no, lot of functions are there. Okay, the file is huge, huh? So some of the functions, if you need, see, basically when you call the function, if you don't find, right, we try to find the header file. See, this a to f function we use, okay, a to I we use. So when you call that function, like printf function is, no, I'll show you that printf function as well. So I will write here, it is a printf function. When you call that printf function, you need to add these files. If open is there, file handling functions are there, right? Here is a printf function is there. The remove function is there of file handling. Printf function is there. Sprintf, vprintf. Lot of no functions are there. Okay. So when you are going to call these functions, f put c, f get c, okay. So all input output functions are there. Put char, fseek, ftail, fread, fwrite. All these functions are from the file handling. Okay. Get position. These functions are newly added functions. Feof. So whether end of file, whether a particular character is end of file, F get char, F put char. So a lot of functions are there. Hmm? So when you are going to call function from this file, we include that. Similarly, when we are going to call function from this file, this a to I, ASCII to integer, ASCII to long, ASCII to float, right? So we call this. Hmm? We have to no, calloc malloc is also there. Dynamic memory allocation functions are also there. Right? I mean, almost in all C programs, not at the academic level, at the professional level. This function, I mean, program won't be completed without use of calloc and malloc. So these two important files, they are added automatically by IDs only because majority of functions reside inside these two files. Okay, but other lot of files are there. Header file, lot of header files are there. When you actually no, mm, no, it will take. I mean, it will take a whole life to understand all these things. What we are trying to learn is, we are trying to learn the basics so that you can understand anything in the future, right? So if you know, I will write hash include, huh? Here lot of header files are there, right? Enormous header files are there. See the list of header files. So that is a stdlib.h. Now this is a precedence table. Okay, so see, they have written C operators are listed in order of precedence, highest to lowest. This is the highest priority. Parenthesis, you will see at the top, in the brackets, that is array subscript. Array, I think you have learned. Then dot operator, arrow operator, and postfix increment and decrement operator. There is the highest priority, right? Then the second phase is there. Now, what does it mean? They are grouped together, because when they are grouped together, then associativity comes into the picture. I will talk about that, right? By giving simple example. Huh? Then there is a unary operators are there, right? All unary operators are prefix, increment, decrement, unary, plus, minus, logical negation, bitwise complement, casting, right? Casting, we have seen that typecast, right? It has got highest, I mean, preference at the precedence at the top, right? Higher precedence. Then address of operator, size of operator. We have already seen that size of operator. Then multiplication and division are there, addition, subtraction. A lot of operators are there, right? Comma, you can see comma is also an operator which has got the lowest precedence. Comma has got the lowest precedence. Just second last in this list is assignment. I told you yesterday. Assignment has got the lowest priority. Second lowest, you can say. Okay, comma has got the lowest, but that is the reason in explanation the control goes at the right hand side of assignment operator. That is the reason. This is the reason. Okay, and there is a associativity. Precedence comes into the picture at the beginning, but if operators having same precedence, okay, come side by side, then associativity comes into the picture. I will show you, right? What does it mean? Suppose I write int x, right? Some value. Suppose I write x is equal to 3 plus 4, right? 3 plus 4 into 5 divided by, suppose 25 divided by 5. Now in mathematics, what we will do, in mathematics we may execute this first. Okay, doesn't make any difference. Okay, but in C language, since multiple operators are there, okay, then the compiler sees out of these three operators plus multiplication and division, which has got the highest precedence. So highest precedence is for the multiplication and division, right? So multiplication and division. But when I say highest, it has got the same precedence. There is no like multiplication has to be first and division has to be executed second. No, it has got the same precedence. When side by side successively these operators appear, then associativity comes into the picture, and associativity of this multiplication and division, you can say here, associativity of multiplication, division, modulus, multiplication, division, and modulus also, left to right. So this will be solved first. Then 100 will be divided by 5, right? So see the difference. If I write, if I print f, okay, x is equal to percent d, I write x. Okay. Let's check what is the output. Hmm? What is the output? That is x is 23, right? Now, even though we solve 25 divided by 5, what is that? 5. 5 into 4, that is 20, plus 3, 23, no problem. But every time it may not happen. Okay, every time you make it different. So, computer's way of explaining or solving an expression, we should know how computer is going to solve that. So here multiplication will be solved first. So 25 multiplied by 4 will be executed first, right? And then division will be done. 5, it will be divided by 5, and then 3 will be added. So likewise, right? Now, what is the answer? X is equal to 11, right? And choice. Okay, it is the same example as earlier. Suppose here it is 7, right? Now what will happen? 4 into 7 will be done first. So 4 into 7 is 28. 28 divided by 5. So that will be answer will be 5. And that 5 plus 3, answer will be 8. Answer is 8. Right? So here associativity comes into the picture. Okay. But suppose this is like this. Hmm? Multiplication and then division and then multiplication. And suppose this is 15 and this 3, right? So what would be answer? 15 divided by 3 multiplied by 5. Okay. So here multiplication and division has got the same precedence, right? So expression will be from left to right. So 15 divided by 3, that is 5. 5 into 5, that is 25 plus 3. So answer will be 28. Right? Answer will be 28. But arithmetically, if you try to solve 5 into 3, that is what? 15. 15 divided by 15, that is what? 1. So answer will be 4. So answer in mathematics and the answer may be 5 or 4, but not in C. C has got rules. So you have to take into account how precedence works and how uh, that associativity works. That is very important. Hmm. So that is actually I wanted to tell you. Hmm. If in the least bracket has got highest precedence, that is the reason if I put the brackets here, right, it will be solved first, like in mathematics. So 15 plus 3, that is 18, and then this will be 18 divided by 3, and then it will be multiplied by 5, right? So it will be how much? 30. By 30, 15 plus 3, that is 18. 18 divided by 3, that is 6. 6 into 5, it is 30. Right? This is how arithmetic expressions are solved. Modulus, I have explained you, right? So suppose I write here modulus, then 18 mod 3. What is 18 mod 3? 0. 18 mod 3 is 0. And 0 into 5, answer will be 0. Right? So it is 0. So modulus operator gives you remainder. Hmm? So far, everything in this chapter has been taught to you. Everything. Huh? I mean, all concepts, all basic concepts have been taught to you.